Let's test this. Let's see if this is. Oh, yeah. We live. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Today, we are going to be doing a demo of some of the new tools that I've made. So, what we have here is a universal testing engine in my desktop and DeckForge. So, oh, probably should. Probably should do this too. So, I'm going to introduce you to the next generation of learning. We're going to switch to Ubuntu. Come here, little cat. And bear with me while we get this going. So, what if we do npm run dev? Really? Let me do something. Let's do it. There we go. So this is the new flashcard application software that I am building. We've got dark mode, light mode, and if we go into settings, it is fully compliant with ADA stuff. So we can go in here and go high contrast. We can go dark mode, light mode, focus mode, and changing text and all this good stuff. We can reduce motion. We can change system fonts. We can change line spacing, text alignment. We can disable animations. And why this is important is it makes the site fully compliant with American with Disabilities Act and all the other good stuff that is important for the web. So I'll run it through. This is the PRCM Adaptive Space Repetition Learning System. It comes with a one set of cards. The point of this is to time your learning. So we can start a timer. Everything actually has some pretty neat transition effects when you hover over, kind of fancy. But what you do is you gauge how well you understand the topic. So you could say, like, why manage tokens? So I don't know well, I do know these answers, but why you would manage tokens is because you have a limited amount of them. So let's see. Context is limited, budget. So I can say, well, that was easy. And then the next time it would ask me this information would be tomorrow at the earliest. So uh, let's pause something real quick. Auto advance to next. It's got sound effects too. Um, Local persistence means it saves everything in your browser. And let me see something else too. You can set your study goals, by the way. We could sit here and say, when's the best time to study? Um, what kind of difficulty do I want? Uh, what's my weekly target? What's my monthly target? Blah, blah, blah. This is where you would manage your decks. So for instance, I can say I want to put in a new deck and then I want to import a deck. I could choose file. We could say desktop and I could say decks and we're going to say security. Deck imported. What that means is if we go to the decks, uh, this is security fundamentals. So you can go in here and we could uh, edit the cards. These are all the cards that it imported in. And these can all be changed. This might error out if I go to, oh, look at that. It actually works. Nice little home button brings you back to the home. And let's close it out. So now you can actually switch between your study material. So there's a prompt engineering and there's a security concepts. And I believe, let me thumb around. So this is Alex Chen's a fake profile. I made it to where you can actually edit the profile. You can even upload photos, put custom photos in here. So I could sit here and say, hey, I want to add my own photo. I want to change like the different logos. You can change your study level. You can pick whatever time you is best for when you study. There's motivational things that will pop up as well. Um, Might as well just run through the settings. People have been wanting to see this. These are your study goals. It'll tell you your accuracy. So our fake student Alex Chen has a 100% goal. Here's his weekly goals, monthly goals, and here's leaderboard achievements that let you know how well he's doing. So it'll tell you like your weekly streaks, your century, um, club accuracy, blah, blah, blah. I think I can make this bigger for people. So boom. If we go back, we can go to test modes. This is a new thing that I've added. So we've got a diagnostic assessment. It'll do, it'll identify where you're weak. Uh, it only lasts 15 to 30 minutes. Can you do an endurance marathon? We can do an exam simulator where we do realistic exams. I'm still actually working on these, but this is a new module that I added to the tool. Do a speed challenge. So where you change how quickly you get the information thrown at you. Then you can do a knowledge battle, which you can compete against AI or even another user. I have not implemented the AI yet. It even has an ELO rating system as well, much like what they do with the AI. So you have leaderboards. Anyways, there's a reporting center. So you can do PDF, HTML, CSV, and JSON. An HTML report looks like this, and it will break down. I'm going to actually make this look a little bit nicer as time goes on, where we'll get the actual charts and everything as well in there. Um, then you have an analytics center. So you can export your report from this also. And it'll basically break down how much you've studied. Once again, I'm going to be upgrading that to look a little bit better. It'll actually show you your daily goals versus your accuracy targets. It'll show you how difficult your cards are for learning. So we have him at a moderate. It'll break down your weekly activity. Like today, we did one card. Um, this is the uh, this is the part of the tool that actually makes it worth a shit. So these are advanced analytics, and this is called your forgetting curve. So it'll actually tell you when you start actually forgetting the information versus where you actually start learning the information. Um, it'll even tell you when the best study time is. Um, right here, you perform best at, 000. It's because this is a fake student. It'll actually tell you how efficient I mean, this fake user profile has hundreds of analytics built into it. So um, I'm just doing an overview today because people wanted to see it. But these are real scores. So it'll say try 25-minute focus study sessions, the Pomodoro technique, which is usually 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off for studying. Review fundamentals. It'll actually just give you insights as to how you can study and learn better. The Ebbinghaus curve, which is what this is from 1880. It's 147 years old, but we can even drill in even more. So we can actually say, if I click that, it'll actually show you your heat map of, need to actually see why that heat map's not showing up as good as it should. Um, here's your performance map. We can actually look at different factors here. It'll break down best times of study. It's a cool little chart. Um, and we can also track progress from here as well. I need to fix some of this stuff, but the SM2 analysis is the SM2 algorithm. I believe they're up to SM4 now, but it's basically it's the actual learning algorithm. It's how often you are given things so that you will learn them. So here you can see, because I just loaded the cards up, but there's 40 cards, average interval of one card, 56% retention. So once again, these numbers aren't real. I just loaded them up. You'll see the intervals. I need to fix the text here, as you can see. Shows your retention. And hopefully it doesn't crash. Thank God. Okay, cool. This is another new feature that I've added. So as you can see, it'll actually capture your cognitive profile, basically how well you're learning the information that you're trying to learn. And it'll break it down into a bunch of categories. So how much stress that it felt you endured in your learning, what your stamina is. There's so many metrics with this. It's not even funny. It's a spider chart there, and it'll actually break down your learning style as well. Cool little animations that shoot in verbal, visual, active, sequential. Once again, these will change. Can show you your performance charts here as well. So this is your testing analytics dashboard here. You know how accurate you were, performance difficulty level. Here's your forgetting curve again. So it'll break down, like, the point is to figure out where you learn and where you forget. And that is called the Ebbinghaus curve. Um, there's also a stress response as well that can be measured through your learning. Um, there's your cognitive. This is basically this drilled in deeper, but there's your learning pattern, working memory, interference, retrieval strength. I love it. So it just breaks it down into more granular um, levels. Um, and there's your learning style broken down into a better, more granular. It'll tell you best time to study, what areas to focus on, and so on and so on. And once again, this is to measure a topic that you're trying to learn information on. Um, so if we go to this is brand new. I really hope it doesn't crash. Let me see if I went through. Oh God, please don't crash. Oh, thank God. So this is a newer thing as well. Um, let me see. Yeah, and let me see if I can. It's funny because it's actually drawing out actual cards that we studied. So you can go like learning, um, mastered, and then all cards. So it's interesting. I have not actually fully played with this yet, but it's pretty neat. So we'll test that as time goes on and see if we can um, see what that looks like. That is a brand new module that I added, which is a three, which is a three, which is a 3D graph. 3D graph. Let me see what else we have here. So there's the analytics reporting center and the testing center. So let me go back to the home screen. Um, once again, you can set your study goals. You can manage the decks. You can edit the cards from here. I'm going to be reworking those. I don't like the way they actually look. Also, you can import cards as JSON, CSV, even copy paste. You can export out the decks, and I'll explain that in a minute. You can do a complete data backup. So this imports a complete study progress, including decks, stats, goals, and settings from a backup file. You can also generate a complete backup, um, which actually takes like all of your student information. And then there's a full profile export, which is everything. It's your learning algorithm, your brain data, all your cognitive reporting that you just saw into a nice little file. Um, let me see what else. And then there's also reset functions to reset. And as you can see, the colors change as you hover over them. I think that's pretty much it. Um, I can run through a couple of these, like what is a dictionary attack? Here we can like start the timing to build some analytics. So dictionary attack. Um, it's usually when somebody has a bunch of passwords and things saved in a file, I think, and they use it to try to attack a system using a precompiled list of words or passwords to guess user credentials. So I'm going to say that one was easy. Was a brute force attack is where you just ram something very hard to try to get in. It's a security term. Yeah. Gap analysis. You know what? I'm going to say that that one was hard so that we give it some actual. And as you can see, it's 4 out of 30 cards, and it tells you the ease and how many I've marked for review. You've got timers, skips, and also undo your last rating. And then it tells you what we're doing here also. And the goal here is that goal is not actually accurate. But and by the way, you can sift through cards also. So I could sit here and say, what does the CIA triad stand for? But um, so yeah, that's the new system that people have been wanting to see. This is what it looks like in light mode. Um, as you can see too, when you hover, um, it changes everything also. Believe shimmer on hover, shimmer intensity, enable the glass effects. So you can just see how everything looks in white mode. I wanted to make it like less, kind of less colorful, but I have to work on this a tiny bit. Here's your analytics when you're going through this also. So if you want to see what that looks like there, colors are pretty popping. Um, yeah. And again, if it gets too, if it gets too, if it gets too bright, what you can do is we can lower the brightness a little bit. Could even put it in like high contrast mode, and I believe focus mode. And yeah, so there you go. There is the new system that people wanted to see. Um, this is PRCM, Adaptive Space Repetition Learning. That's because it is taking the SM2 space repetition algorithm and it's adding a little twist. Now, to show you the new system, this is called DeckForge. DeckForge is the ultimate study material creation tool. It does not matter what you want to study, this can make it. So it's why I call it DeckForge. And the reason why I call it DeckForge is because it started out as making decks for the spaced repetition learning. So we could sit here if you want to know how it works. It's pretty fast because it only does one thing. But it makes premium study decks for SM2 space repetition algorithm. Every deck is research structured and formatted for maximum retention. You request a deck, you ask for a topic, you can, excuse me, select the difficulty, pick the size, and pick your focus areas. It'll actually go out there and it will break up how it feels it needs to break up the information. You'll get it in two formats, in JSON and CSV. And you would import them into, this link is not right now. This takes you to a demo marketing site, but it would normally take you to the system that we were just in, which would be here. But if you want to see where that's taking us for now, I believe it's going to take us to our marketing site, which is um, pretty cool, but it's not exactly where I was hoping to take us. So yeah, this is the marketing site that I made to show off the PRCM. A couple people had asked. This is nowhere near the power of what I just showed you, as you can see. Like, this is nothing like the main site. This is interactive. It actually does work, but it is nowhere near. It even has cool little shimmer effects. It's got the decks, even the achievements, and even cool little, um, even we can even do reduced motion, text size, um, and as you can see, it even changes. These are the technical specs on what's behind the site itself, the one that I showed you in the and it even has a full user guide on how to use everything. So we've got, the installation, uh, creating your first deck, and animation controls. I'm going to actually have to look at this, but these are all the different things that are needed for not just ADA, but the WCAG compliance, so that I can have it on the internet for people. Um, yeah, this is kind of broken, and I apologize, but yeah, it's so funny. Well, thanks for everybody telling me that this worked. I didn't even know it didn't work. But once again, this was just a marketing deck. Uh, so we'll shut that down. But normally you would just, you're not even going to need to do that. Once this site is fully working, you'll come in here, you'll click on a plugin, and it will import all the information that you're wanting right into the app itself. So still working on that. Let's show you what this can do. So it tells you again to go to this site, which is not real. And it asks you, do you want to do a pre-built deck, convert notes into a deck, create an exam prep, learn a new language? It doesn't matter. So let's say I wanted to convert notes into a deck. So it's going to tell me to, you know, it's going to tell me to upload a document. So why don't we give it, so this is an OWASP penetration testing kit. This is a document that we're going to turn into study materials. Looks like it's got a good amount of information. Let's see if it can read it. Great. So it's saying it can convert this into study cards. And here's the recommended structure. Now it's asking, what do I want to do? Do I want 20 to 30 cards? Do I want 40 to 50 cards? And I'll show you guys. That was just a random document that I downloaded off the internet. Now, let's say I wanted to do a pre-built deck. Um, let's see what it has built in. What if I wanted to do, I'm actually studying for this right now. So I could say I already have one of those built, but let's just say I want more. Here we go. These are just some of the topics that I built in here. I mean, I think I've got like 50 different topics built in, and some of them are languages as well. But what if I wanted to do, human anatomy, since I know that topic? We'll pick that for right now. Great. Since it's already in there, it already has best stats that are in there for it. So study time's 15 minutes per session. It's going to break it down to different systems, going from beginning to intermittent, 30 cards, and yeah, we're going to do the full deck. and it should usually come back pretty fast because it's not really doing much. And it's actually building the cards right now. So it's trying to take me to the app also. It's always going to try and take me to that marketing app. But um, so it broke it down into a couple different sections. But let me just show you where this would, whoops, where this would work here. So since this is the system it's automatically going to be going into, I can paste that right here. Whoops. Let me go new deck, import export, and we're going to go anatomy and physiology has been imported. So there it is. The information that I want to study is now actually been made into study material right here. Here's the human anatomy and physiology. We could start testing on it right now. What are the four chambers of the human heart? Right atrium, right ventricle. So I'll say heart. And if you've noticed, it actually breaks down filters for them as well. So lets me know this is part of the skeletal system and bones. I think it's the femur, um, the thigh bone. There you go. What's the large? We just did that. 2 of 10 cards. We'll skip that one. Um, so there you go. The other cool thing is this is meant to be a two-part system. So because I'm still building this system right here and I need to test it, I wanted to create a universal testing engine because I have 3 people that I mentor in real life and they wanted something now. So because they wanted something now, I said, let me adapt a system that I already had into a universal testing engine. So this is the universal testing engine. Um, it's actually somebody that I'm mentoring right now. All right. So that same deck that I had just done, watch this. I can upload that here and it lets me know there's 5 flashcards and it says, what do I want to do? Do I want to, so basically this is a, this system and this system are very similar. This system is designed for flashcard style learning and to get advanced metrics on your learning. This system right here I built to drill the information into somebody in several different ways. And then about 30 days before they need to test on something, they would come in here and they would refresh their learning and get it really drilled in uh, and get me some advanced metrics. So we could sit and say, you know, customize the material. We could say set a study plan. 90 days learning objective is, so what I did was turn this into a 90-day zero to hero on any topic. It doesn't matter what you know, how much you know. This will take it from novice to expert in the 90-day time, consistently drilling you with the information. So it actually will measure all of these analytics for you. We can say, can you expand on the deck? We only gave it 5 cards. So right there can expand it out to 15 cards, and it can auto generate a full assessment for me. So to run that through, because I know that probably made not no sense, but it was a lot. We've got one app here that can take any topic and turn it into study material. And to show you this also, if I wanted to create a custom study deck, these are the areas that are pre-built in. Watch this. This is the Connecticut Book of Practice. This is the Connecticut Book of Practice, the laws in the state of Connecticut. I can turn this into a study guide. So just to give you an idea of an off-the-wall thing to do with this tool. And then while that's waiting, I can go in here and we'll do a new chat. Watch. I'm just going to tell it because I already know. Beginner. Whoops. Let's see what it does. Uploaded the 2025 Connecticut Book of Practice. It can begin legal basics deck that mixes important areas like the rules of professional conduct, superior court. Do I want to keep it general, like beginner friendly, focus on essentials? So why don't we just do one for pro se litigants? So basically people that are representing themselves. So right now, saying it's going to go with a beginner friendly law deck that mixes topics like ethics, court, uh, appeals and procedures, clear beginner explanations. So there'll be no legal jargons unless it's defined in there. And here we go. So once again, we can take this into, once this system is done, you could take it in here. And again, the difference between this and this is night and day. This is designed to be very flexible and test you on any topic you want in any manner that you want. This system right here is strictly spaced repetition learning. In other words, it's going to show you flashcards. This other system can show you the information any way that you want. So right here, you could even say, cool. It can create a custom assessment from any content. So supported file types. Essentially, this system right here doesn't necessarily need the deck forge, but having it actually helps. So if I went in here and I just give it this information, it already knows. So it can design study material out of nothing. So the two of them combined is an absolute powerhouse. So we could say run a diagnostics. And this will actually basically test you to see where you're at. So it's already actually starting the test mode. So what's the main duty of a lawyer under the rules of professional conduct? We'll go with B, even though we know that's not true in real life. And it tells you how well you've done. So the difference between this universal testing engine and this, one and the same and not. What I'm trying to do is give people an ultimate multitude of ways of learning. So, you know, I hope that answers some questions as to what I've been working on. Um, and to give you another idea of something that, you know, the people that I'm mentoring wanted me to make for them, they basically, uh, they wanted something that would take them from novice to proficient in a technology. So, for example, they wanted something called identity access management. So, right now it's 4 files. I'm not going to mess with it because it works. This is a program that can take somebody from zero knowledge in technology to being proficient in identity access management in 90 days. It's custom designed, um, and I'll let you see what it does. But it will bring them through help desk, through networking, through security, and then focus on the IAM topics. And you'll see how that works. So now you'll get to see the fancy menus that I made. It actually makes little bars, and so right here it can automatically it can just automatically, because of the fact I had pre-built this. So I'll show you guys this also. It even has its own built-in analytics dashboard that I made as well. Like I said, this system is pretty cool. I didn't come up with space repetition learning. Um, I definitely, this took a lot of time to build. Um, this is my version of that, um, and again, just another way to learn. Um, you can take the information from here, and you can actually bring it into here and back and forth, and actually get real time analytics. Um, you know, there's visual. Yeah, sorry, I didn't. It's my first time actually seeing this. I'm actually a little impressed with how it turned out. Um, so, if we wanted to go back to give you guys an idea, we'll run a baseline, and it's going to ask me 10 questions. How I want to run this. So, since I built this for two of my mentees, I'll run it through. We'll just go A. I should know some of this. It's telling me that they're going to be 10 items. It's going to be about 5 to 8 minutes. Just so you know, uh, some of this stuff is information that I am working on myself. Some of this stuff is information that has been requested from some of the people that I mentor. But we'll actually have it. Since you uploaded the IM, I can set it. So we're going to go with. We'll go with F. That aligns. and it'll tell us what we need. So we can say start now. Which of the following describes the primary purpose of identity access management? RBAC is rule-based access control. Um, so if I wanted to sit here real quick and pause it, uh, we could go with pausing the test. And we could say, let's see the analytics. Pretty cool. So just a nice universal testing engine for people to see where they're at. Um, so yeah, um, that is all I've got for now, and I hope that wasn't too boring. Um, yeah, and we will exit out of that. But thanks for hanging with cats. And as the system develops further, I will give more highlights on how these systems are coming about. But seeing this today for the first time, um, it's not bad at all. And actually, you know what? I will give you guys one more demo. I made a test that will test people's logic, and I need to convert over. Let's see. Let's see if I can get it to work. This should test on 3 different topics in IT, which would be networking, security, or help desk, including the logic that would go along with it. And let's see if I actually did it right. I've got a management one coming, and um, it's a technical sales course. Every time you upload something, it should change it. Here it is. So if I were to say 1A, it should start testing me on this. And it lets me, this should let me know. Um, it'll actually do psychometric testing as well to see where a candidate is at for security, networking, or help desk roles, which should be a blessing for people trying to come into the boot camp. Um, Pick your subject focus. So we could say a little bit of mix of everything. So if I wanted to say, we could say 1D, and it's actually telling me to pick my different pick my pick my different type of way that I want to be tested. So this actually worked out uh, beautifully. This is exactly what I wanted, which was a mixed test for anybody that's coming into the boot camp that wants to learn networking, security, or help desk, because each one of these is something completely different. And what this will do is this will, every two questions, if you get it right, it gets incrementally harder. Every two questions you get wrong, it will start easing up a little bit. So it is fully adaptive. And these algorithms, or the metadata from here, can be taken to that other system for deeper analysis to basically help somebody learn better, faster, stronger. Um, Once again, it's 140 years of science that's behind this style of learning. And with the universal testing engine, it'll present the knowledge in any way that you want. And yep. So thanks for um, thank you for uh, staying with me, and we'll bring this back again another time.